Well, here is the shop update for September of 2021. So basically, we have done more or less all updates and very few projects. Which means, really, there's not a lot going on in the shop that's interesting to take videos of. There's some, but there's not a lot. Here's where we're at. 1250's in here now in place of the 3205, which has been sold to a friend of mine. The 1882 has been moved over here to make room for this bay, because it's vehicle maintenance time and this bay needs to be clear. So he's put even further away than he was before, and you know what that means. That means the Mag 18 is still in the bag. Yay. No progress has been made on that at all. It's been a crazy year. Work has been extremely intense, and I've dedicated myself to fixing other people's machines more than I have tinkering on my own projects, which I'm fine with. It's you know, something that I enjoy doing, so I still would I would prefer to have other people's machines to work on all the time, because it's actually providing a service and a purpose. My tinkering on the side is more for myself, and when it happens, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. So the Samurai's running. Nobody has ever heard the Samurai run on the thing, huh? Let's go grab the keys. I'll update you on some more vehicle stuff. So, Ranger, just a tank doing its thing. 212,000 miles on that. Samurai, bloop. Samurai. Got a little nurse tank in here. This is, I've been chasing a fuel system problem on this one. This one I swapped the engine and wiring harness and computer and everything. I put in a 1.6 throttle body injected in place of the 1.3 carbureted. She runs like a dream now with that guy right there. Yeah. Samurai is back in action after about 2 years of chasing a fuel system problem. I finally decided to bypass the tank, and in doing so, I got a functional machine again. You can see that's all the custom fuel line stuff there. I was doing some testing, got a pressure gauge on it. I put all the braided stainless line in to replace all of the old rotted steel tube and stuff. And I also increased the diameter of the line on the return side to make sure I wasn't cooking the pump. And look underneath, we got a lift pump there. So that's actually pulling fuel from the tank. And that brings it down to a high pressure pump right here. I was having suction issues, and I think I still was a suction issue. It just it didn't have anything to do with the components that I had worked on. It was some sort of blockage in the tank. Or that's the theory for now. Because it runs great. And it runs great with that whole tank in there. Yeah, so I haven't really dedicated much of the channel to this. I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but it's a really fun little machine. It was my daily driver for a couple years after I swapped the motor in it. And yeah, once we get a fuel tank in it, it will be a daily driver again, to an extent. So there's that. That happened, so that was cool. Seeing projects sit, even if you are working on other people's things and, you know, moving forward on other people's projects. Seeing your own project sit sucks. And seeing this sit for 2 years sucked. So I'm glad that's back on the road. Not heavily modified, rusty. Just a good little beater Samurai. Ranger, doing its own thing. We're gonna do some maintenance to it this weekend. I did all the maintenance, the fall maintenance on the town car last weekend. This weekend is the Ranger. We got the F100 here. I just started it up this morning to see how it would start when it's cold, and this thing is so low on compression that like you can crank it for like a minute and a half straight and it won't drain the battery. Like, it's a total turd for compression. So we still got to figure out, is it rings or valves or where's it losing compression? But we can give it a, see if she'll pop off. Well, maybe, yeah. Runs like total ass. Like, runs terribly. No vacuum at all. Like, the vacuum signal is so weak. This is a horrible misfire. It'll eventually sit here and it'll idle. It's just not happy. Not great oil pressure either, to be honest. So, it does run, but barely. I got a leak down test to do on this to figure out where we're going. We pulling the heads, we're doing a ring job, pulling the home motor, what are we doing? Don't know. No time to play with it right now. But hey, it does run and move around, so that's good. And it's in a little outbuilding, so it's not going to get all... It won't get totally creamed. There she is. I haven't done really too much to it. I know. I think I did. I flushed the cooling system because it was just so bad. I've been running some cleaner through it. Try to clean it out in preparation for tearing it down. Get some of that scale out of there. But this is a, this is a long-term project too. So over here, move the only two remaining chassis I've got for the Cubs, the 1250 and the 2554 chassis. Probably going to pull this cast iron rear out of this and save that. I'd still enjoy doing something with that, and I don't know what yet. I'm thinking a dedicated attachment, like either a sickle bar or a chipper shredder, although I hear they're not the greatest in the IH line. I'm not giving up on those yet. There's the plow for the 2000 series there, the tires stacked on it. There's the 8N. This is a friend slash customer 2000 series, needs gone over. I helped them pick it out on Facebook, and it's needs a little bit of work, but it's not bad. It's pretty clean actually for a 2000 series. Probably hasn't seen grease in 20 years. Pile O stuff. This is probably going to all get scrapped. I might grab the 42-inch deck on the top there and put it on one of our 2000 series in replacement of the 38. But other than that, there's that's all scrap. So, Ranger, Ford, 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 another Ford. All right, and then as far as the machines that have been doing all the work all year, Here we have Jordy. This is the 2166 that I put a 54-inch deck on. Jordy's doing pretty good. Yeah, we've called him Jordy because he's got this crazy looking grill. I put an hour meter on it when I got the, not when I first got it, but pretty close. And it's got 82 hours on it so far. So it is the CH16. It's doing really well. It's got that 6-inch PTO on it that I swapped out of a 2500 series. And it's got the 54-inch deck. And then the 3000 series rear wheels and tires. The thing is a beast. Most of the issues that I'm seeing are really not related to the engine horsepower. Actually, none of it is. The engine can turn this deck under a full load with no problem. I mean, super tall grass, it'll go right through it. It doesn't. The 16 horsepower is no problem for this thing. The only issues I've had with it, and I did a video on this, we'll be seeing it soon. We had some rear end bolts loosen up back here. And I actually had some cracking, and like I said, we've got a video coming on this, but I had some cracking occur back in here in these, where the bolts come through the case. You can see some JB weld, some fantastic JB weld right there. You see it? Yeah, you can just barely see it. So I had to pull the pan and repair those cracked holes, and I actually had a leak on this one because of loose bolts. Yeah, I actually had to pull the pan and fix those leaks from the top down. Also did some repairs on the deck lever mechanism. The 54 has been doing great. It growls like it's gonna fall apart. The bearings are just shot in all the spindles. I just keep it greased in it. It really doesn't ask for more. It's been a really reliable unit this year. The other 2166 here is the backup mower with the 38 on it. It's yeah, it's doing its thing, man. No big news to report here on this one. This is the backup slash Marlia mower, I guess. I find that it's important to keep. If you have machinery that's old, it's important to keep an extra around because you never know. And if they're the same one, you're guaranteed to have at least something that you need when you need it. So, same thing with the lawn boys. So, this old girl right here, this is a sweetheart. I've had this one longer than any of the other lawn boys in the stable. Let's see if we can start this up. You guys have heard the 2000 series startup before. So this is a graveyard pick, basically. I took this deck from a junkyard full of mowers, and I found the engine somewhere else in that same junkyard, and they don't match as far as the series of the engine. The engine, I believe, should have an older deck on it than this one. I've seen them before, I just can't remember. If you look at the shroud and the engine, it's a D-series engine. I can't remember if it's a 600 or a... I can't remember. My lawn boy knowledge is lacking. I used to know. I just haven't paid attention in a while. But this mower here, like I said, I've had it longer than any of the other ones, and it is just the lightest, easiest to push unit we've got. It's just a real treat. It's a great machine. It doesn't really ask for anything. So that one's been the trim mower for around the property because it's really light and maneuverable. It's late 60s, early 70s, most likely. Or a mix of those two. Yeah. And then we got over here is something I did pick up this year. So this is like the only project I think I've actually picked up this year for myself. This is the 10515, I believe a 95 model. It has the plastic carburetor. This is the F-Series engine, 3-speed transmission. This thing is an absolute beast. I love this mower. This is definitely like my favorite mower now. It's super smooth. It's lighter than the Duraforce models of the same type of design. And it's just, it's a really, really sweet mower. Let's see if she'll pop off for us here. A little cold. So a little bit of tinkering on along, boys. Lots of work being done, lots of hours being put on the 2000 series here, and we're moving on to fall maintenance on the vehicles. So town car was last weekend, and then go this way. This weekend will be the Ranger. Get her all ready. And then we'll move on to the Samurai, and then our 3 main vehicles will be ready for winter. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. Nothing terribly exciting, but also it's never boring. There's always something to fix. It's about to go. And I don't know. I guess I kind of prefer it that way. Otherwise, we'd be buying brand new vehicles. So, I was explaining this to someone last night. I said that, we were talking about mechanical ability and connections with machines and stuff. And I don't know how we got on the topic, but one of the things that I said was that I wouldn't even buy a new vehicle. I wouldn't want a new vehicle. It's a real hassle sometimes dealing with this 20-plus-year-old stuff. I mean, that's a 99 there, that's a 2003, that's like a 2000, that's a 2000, that thing's like a 70-something. There's not anything out here really that's any newer than 2003. So the town car is 18 years old. But I wouldn't really want a new vehicle. Part of that is because I just enjoy the type of vehicles that we have, and they just don't make anything like this anymore. New cars just don't appeal to me. Too many gadgets, too much crap. It's just they're too much. They've gone beyond their intended original design parameters, in my opinion. And so I know it makes me sound like an old man, but really, it's true. I would prefer not to own a new vehicle for that reason, but also, working on these machines, whether it's any of the garden tractors or the vehicles or any of this stuff, provides me with a sense of connection with the machine that allows me to sense problems before they occur, and also gives me a much greater sense of enjoyment when I'm using these machines. You know, if nothing ever needs attention and nothing ever breaks, then you won't really develop a relationship with the machines. It's a double-edged sword, don't get me wrong, but that's why we like junk. So that's the long-winded shop update. And hard to say what's coming up next. We got to get through the next couple weeks. Work's pretty intense, and we've got to get our fence line in for our pups. So thanks for sticking it out, and thanks for all the comments people were leaving. It's good to keep up with you guys and still be a part of the community. So yeah, I appreciate you stopping by and checking this out. Yeah, I don't want to push it and crack the deck or something. I should stop. We'll do the last couple stripes with the with that guy. Hey, I need you to finish the lawn. I need you to finish the lawn with that. This spindle over here is about to puke its guts out. Yeah. Yeah. I've been watching it get worse and worse, and I'm looking now, and the spindle is going like this. It's like where it should be straight up and down, it's going like this. It's like totally shot. Yeah, that line. Yeah. Yeah, basically where you can see the leaves, that V. No, I've done it before. If I push it, it's gonna like grenade, so. Bye! Alright, let's take it back. That thing is done. I'm not going to push it any harder than that. It just recently got, like recently meaning like in the last half hour got really, really bad. It's been loud for a while, but it's like super fucking gross now. So I'm not going to push it. Crack the spindle. Oh, poor guy. I was just talking about how growly the bearings were too. I just keep throwing grease at them. I just stopped and put a little bit of grease in it, but it ain't helping. It is like trashed. We'll take her back in. Never a dull moment. All right. Let it cool down for a sec, and then we'll see what we can do. And that bearing is completely shot. I don't know, maybe the spindle's cracked too. I'm not sure. It's really, really bad. And this is why you always have a spare something. When you own old junk, this is why. Alright, let's see what's going on with this thing. I mean, I can hear it and I can feel it. It is, oh my god. Dude, there's nothing left to it. Yeah, I'm glad I stopped. I think we can pop this cover off without too much trouble. I don't even think we got to pull the deck to pop that cover off. I'd be surprised if it's just the bearings. That seems worse than that. Oh yeah, it's not the bearings at all. The entire spindle is coming off the deck. So this one, yeah, I remember this. We got some cracked. So this one, I remember when I very first got the deck into service, I noticed that this spindle had a broken ear right here. Yeah, see that ear? It was broken. That's been broken since I got it. What's happened is the rest of the... Oops, sorry. What's happened is the rest of the mounts have gotten loose, and the whole thing is just... You can really get a feel for... It's just coming apart, dude. That, I don't know if I have 3 bolts left or 2, or this one over here's, it looks like that ear's not broken. I would be surprised if I could salvage this spindle, but I might be able to. I can go into there and see if I can tighten any of those up. Might be able to do it without pulling the deck. Let's see what kind of room we can get in here. Probably 1/2 inch. That is just so bad. Unbelievable. Oh boy. Nope. No head left on that one. We have no heads on any of these bolts left. One. One head on one bolt is left. That is it. Yep. That thing is trashed. It is completely gone, dude. Okay. Well, it's held on by one bolt right now, so this is going to be a more extensive repair. And this is why there are no fun projects in the shop. There's just these. Alright. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back. Have a good one, everyone. See ya.